Do you know what time it is?
All right, here we are, week number 3, Carolina Motorsports Park, Kart Racing League. This is the first heat after the little practice we got. It's about negative 20 degrees outside, as you can tell, probably from all of the clothes we're wearing. I'm your host, David Smith, also the driver of this fine kart you're looking at right here, wearing these nice orange shoes and what I thought were warm skeleton finger gloves. This is the 3rd week. We were worried that this week we may not be able to do it because of the ice and winter storm threat. However, the weather held off for us, so we were able to come out here. As it turns out, it looks like we didn't get much of that storm at all, but we didn't know that going into it. But anyway, I will be chiming in from time to time throughout this video. We'll let you know up front. We were missing the second race, which you will see. Here we are lining up, getting ready for the green. I am trying to let the other driver know, I believe that is John, that I think he was supposed to be over to the left in front.
8, 7, 6,
starting
5,
in front of me,
4,
but
3, 2,
we're confused on that. So that's why I'm so far back on this start. Normally I'd be right up on them, but nevertheless, here we go. Came up beside Aaron, and a lot of times I would maybe try that, but I saw I wasn't up there far enough. I wasn't going to chance it. And I thought maybe I'll let the race come to me. And also I noticed from the very beginning on the formation lap, this kart did not want to turn. I didn't feel comfortable going into that first turn, challenging anyone, because I figured I would just wreck us all. But I'm going to sit back and see what happens. A little bit of a spoiler here. I don't do very well in this race. I was fighting the kart the whole time, but here we are anyway. I got past Aaron there, pretty clean overtake. I believe that is Walt, maybe, that I passed for a second. He's in the light division, so passing him really does nothing for me other than just, I guess, bragging rights and putting some distance between me and Aaron and anybody else that may be behind me. Alright, big turn here. Look at that. Aaron got me again. He gets me on that turn. Usually that's the turn he gets me on. Now and in the past. I'm trying to keep up, but again, I am fighting this kart non-stop. Aaron and Walt challenging each other a little bit. Again, Aaron is in my class, so they really doesn't affect them very much. Here I saw a little opportunity, or what I thought may be an opportunity. So I pull up beside him. Here we go another time. Trying to take advantage of them fighting each other. and looks like Aaron may have pulled away where he will stay. And I am caught up right now, and I'm not sure I would have been able to give Aaron much of a challenge in this race anyway. See, I'm fighting the cart a good bit there. And I believe Eric, who is also in our class, is up ahead of us all. But everyone else is checked out way ahead of us. We got caught battling ourselves, and that let everybody else get a little more distance as well. Yeah, I think that's Eric up ahead of Aaron. So we'll just continue along, fighting the good fight, trying to maintain my position without spinning out, which is something I've done every single week up to this point. So if I can have a race where that doesn't happen, that's a plus. Across the rumble strip there, off the track. There I am looking behind me, which never really helps. Here's the turn where I spun out twice last week. And at times it looks like, I'm catching up with Aaron a little bit. And then he pulls back away from me. In reality, that's probably me braking late, going into some turns, making it appear I'm catching up with him. But overall, it's really not happening. According to our times, it shows he had a better lap than me on average. But I'm sure there may have been some corners where he didn't take perfectly, and maybe I did catch up a little bit, but he had no problem putting the distance between us again. What I do believe is happening, or what I know is happening and is going to happen, is he's catching up with Eric a bit more, which I believe I may be as well, but of course not enough, nowhere close to enough. And I can tell you, I believe every one of us are freezing at this point. And depending on the gloves we had, our hands were freezing, extremely cold, very hard to grip the steering wheel, especially as the races kept going. There were times where I was yelling out, "Come on, let's wrap it up." I even motioned over to the side, hoping they would see me, saying, "All right, throw the flag, let's get it done." Because it was tough, really tough. But anyway, I have no idea how many laps we've completed. I know I'm hoping this thing is almost over, because I'm not getting any closer and I'm just getting colder and colder. But the cart seems to be still back there in the pits, so it's not any time really soon, or at least not this lap. We can just pray that it's the lap coming up. Also, this cart, when I went to sit down in it, I noticed some wetness in the floorboard up kind of where my thighs would be. And I thought it might be water. And after I wiped it up, I realized it probably wasn't. And this whole race, my pants leg was getting soaked with gas, which thankfully it didn't touch my skin, or it would have burned me sitting in it that long. I did have on long johns, underneath my pants because of the cold, so that probably helped keep it off of me as well. But driving back, I mean, it was overwhelming smell in the truck the whole ride home because of the gas soaked into my pants. But anyway, not a huge deal. Of course, I didn't smell it or feel it right now. Or I could just tell you, yes, I did. It was burning me. I knew I was getting burned, and that's why I did not win the race. That would be a lie. So I'm not even going to say it. Alright, we've got to be getting close to the finish. Got to be. As you can see up ahead of me, Aaron is catching Eric. I'm not sure if Eric went off the track or what may have happened. And Eric is the one that joined us last week for the first time. Look at that. We've got a checker flag. Thank you, God. As you will see coming up, well, I'm not going to spoil it any more than I have.
Oh my God.
Are you out of your mind?
Yep. It's true. I did get that win, thank goodness. But anyway, let's move forward. Alright, starting heat 3, race 3, whatever you call it. Not sure why they call them heats. Some people call them that. But my understanding is you have a heat race. It is almost like qualifying, getting you ready for the final race. So the first 2 races, if anything, would be considered heat races. This one would not. So in the last race, there was a battle up in front of me. A lot of people shooting. I don't know about a lot of people. People were shooting into that first turn. No idea why my screen is now divided from left to right. I'm not even sure how to correct that. I'm going to take a look at the camera later today and see if it's going to be an issue moving forward. But anyway, people were shooting into that first turn, and I backed off a little bit because you could tell there was going to be a wreck. There's no way everybody could be in there like that. And just a couple of turns later, if that, people were off the track. I was able to avoid it and move forward. But that was the last race. Let's see what happens here. I was able to start in pole position for our division because of the last 2 race finishes. Here we try to go. Now that is Ralph in front of me. I believe Jordan in front of me right now to the right. A little bit of challenging there. Both of those guys aren't in my class, so there's really no need to try to get around either one of them other than putting some distance between me and whoever's behind me. I did hit Jordan there by mistake. I braked, but I let off my brake, I guess before he did, and it rolled right into him. Thankfully, it didn't screw him up. But anyway, Ralph is gone. You can see him up ahead, but I'm not sure how much longer you'll be seeing him. He's got it figured out for sure. There I am letting Jordan know I'm with him. Of course, I'd love to pass him. I'd love to pass Ralph and every one of them, regardless of weight class. about to have an issue here. I should not have stayed on the inside here going into this turn. It screwed me up. And there is Eric, who was behind me. I didn't know he was that close. But it allowed him to shoot right past and get in front of Jordan. So now I'm stuck following them. I'm going to watch them fight a little bit, maybe. Oh, a little bit of issue there. Try to capitalize on it. Not able to do much, but I was able to get one overtake. So now, and I believe that was Jordan. I believe I'm following, yep, I'm following Eric now. So this is my class. And now I am in second, which is not where I want to be. But let's see if I can outlast him, try to make no mistakes or less mistakes. You know, last week, the very last race, I was able to go without any spin outs or anything like that. This week, I've made it a point to try to do that. So, first two races, I did not wreck, no spin outs, able to keep my position. So, trying to do that, and I'm hoping he's not able to do the same. Because as you can see right now, I can't catch him. Or I can't catch him enough to get around him. Also, at the beginning of this race, they were going to have me in the kart that I had just finished on. Or no, actually, that was the race before, I believe, which should not have happened because of the way we parked. And I had an issue with that. I hope I didn't seem like a spoiled brat. I just knew the other kart was terrible. Leaked gas on my leg, would not turn, and I had no shot at doing anything. And we're supposed to be getting different karts in random order and all of that. So for me to get that same kart, I felt like it wasn't how it was supposed to happen. But anyway, completely different kart here. I believe this kart turned extremely well to the right, which allowed me to make up some time, like right here and in this turn coming up. I could take this turn with ease without having to use a ton of brakes. So here and then this next right-hand turn is where I was able to catch up. Unfortunately, this track, the right-hand turns don't really open up to any straightaways. So ideally, a left-hand, a kart that turns better to the left, I believe, would put you in a better position to overtake on these long straightaways. But it did help me catch up there, timing it just right and putting myself, and right here too. This turn, again, doesn't open you up too much, but any little bit helps to get you in a position where the other person makes mistakes. You can try to take advantage of that. Not the greatest turning kart to the left, but it wasn't bad. It was average. All right. Didn't catch up much there. Let's see what I can do coming up here. All right, gain a little ground. Nothing here. But, you know, not losing any ground either. Trying different lines, seeing what will work. Any little thing. But as it stands now, I know we're getting on into the race. So if I'm going to get a pass, I need to go ahead and do it. Because before you know it, they'll be waving that flag. This race is a little bit longer. I believe this is 12 minutes versus 8 or 9 minutes. So a little bit more time, but also, as we're going, even though I am wearing different gloves, my hands are freezing and grip is getting harder and harder to maintain. on the wheel, that is. I have no idea what the tires are doing. They seem to be gripping just fine. But, alright, setting myself up here. Okay, gained a lot right there in that turn. Alright, let's try to maintain it here for a good position. Alright, I've caught up a good bit here, so if he screws up, I can be ready. Alright, and here we go, last turn. Oh, there we go. Had I not caught up when I did, that would have never happened. Had he not run off right then, I probably would have just stayed right behind him. Maybe he would have made a mistake coming up. I'm not sure. But now I'm in first. Now, all I can think of is hurry up and wave that checkered flag before I screw up or before somebody behind me is running faster than I am that I don't know about. There's no way of knowing unless I turn around and look. And when you turn around and look, you can get off of your line and you can get anxious, which I tend to do. So the best thing I can do is try to run my race as good as I can. But I can tell you, my hands were cold. That was me just looking to see if the cart might be up there and they might be waving the flag, which they are not. So here we go. We know it's at least one more lap for me to hold on. And I know, or I feel confident that Eric is behind me because we're running right there together. And he's a good driver. He's an aggressive driver. He's going to take a shot at any point that he can. He was involved in the wreck on the second race. And I think it was because he was diving in, driving aggressively, and he's going to. So I know he's either going to take the shot if I screw up, or, he might be there to give me a little bump going into a turn that, I might spin out from. I don't think he would do that intentionally, but just like you saw me give a little bump. If you're driving close, those things happen. And at the end of the day, we are racing. So he wants to win just as much or more than I want to win or anybody else. And that's the name of the game. So hopefully people don't get too upset with that. You can look at it like, okay, this is a rental kart league. There's no big money on the line or any of that. But there's bragging rights, and we all want to win. I think that little glimpse of a person, I think that was Ralph, who was way ahead of me. Again, we're not in the same class, so it does not affect me, thank goodness. But he's just on fire. I actually think he lapped someone in this race. It was not me. I don't want to get lapped by any means. But anyway, it happens, and it can happen to anyone. But nothing but clear skies, no one in front of us, coming around again, hoping for a final lap. Nope, it's not. No checkered flag, no person in sight. Wondering if they're ever going to come over there. Maybe somebody died, or maybe they froze to death. Not sure. But I know I'm freezing. I know I'm struggling. Not sure if I'm talking out loud. There's a few times where I do signal for them to, let's wrap it up. Come on. I even do hand gestures. Like, please God, come on. I think actually the lap when I do it, I do it over toward the pit and don't realize they're actually over there at the finish line anyway. Not that they would listen to me, but just in case they might be talking and time got away and nobody saw what time it was. I know, I can promise you, I was feeling it. And I'm sure all the other drivers were too. It's like another lap. Nobody here. Dying And when you're in first, we did get up to 53 miles per hour this time. Last week, I think the fastest speeds were 50. So karts were running a little faster, or either the karts or this kart that I was on felt a little faster. Maybe the wind, maybe it runs better in the cold, I'm not sure. But anyway. But when you are in first, like I am right now, I don't know if everyone feels this way, but it's stressful. And you're worried, are people catching up? Am I going to slip? Am I going to take a turn wrong? It is so much better for me to be in second, at least until the end of the race. I would love to be able to be in second. Look, see, that's me signaling, please come on. But they're over there. But it's not time yet. He's just driving over there. But yeah, I would love to be in second and be able to pass at any point I wanted to. That would be ideal. Usually never happens that way. So when you are leading the race, you don't really know how close people are or anything else. It's just stressful. But this is the last lap. We are coming around now. Thankfully, to end this thing, to be able to get our hands warm and get off of these karts. This week was certainly a lot better for me. I think I've been improving gradually. Next week will be the last one of this series, so I'm looking forward to it, but hating to see it end as well. But I was able to get 2 wins, 2 out of 3 this weekend. That first kart was just terrible, but either way, I'm happy to have finished all 3 without any spin-outs, crashes. So certainly a positive. I'm doing a little experimenting now. I'm going to see how fast I can go into this curve. Apparently not the only one, but right, so that was a little too fast. Oh no, and there's Eric right there doing the same thing. So we both tried it, didn't work, and we know for next time. Till next week, we're signing out.